In the hit television show Peaky Blinders, two of the most prominent characters are Thomas Shelby and Luca Changretta. While both men are incredibly complex and multidimensional, they also have very different psychological profiles. In this video essay, we will take a closer look at these two characters and analyze their motivations, behavior, and finally, their ultimate showdown in the series. Thomas Shelby, played by Cillian Murphy, is the leader of the Shelby crime family in Birmingham, England during the 1920s. He is a man who is driven by a fierce ambition and a desire to rise above his humble beginnings. He is also a man who is haunted by the trauma of World War I and the death of his brother in Season 4. These experiences have shaped him into a man who is both ruthless and compassionate, willing to do whatever it takes to protect his family and secure their place in the world. On the other hand, Luca Changretta, played by Adrian Brody, is a Sicilian crime boss who is determined to avenge the death of his father. He is a man who is consumed by anger and a desire for revenge. He is willing to do whatever it takes to achieve this goal, even if it means going to war with the Shelby family. He is also a man who is haunted by his own past and the trauma of growing up in a crime-ridden environment. One theory that can be applied is the concept of personality. According to the Big Five personality traits, Thomas Shelby can be classified as someone who is high in conscientiousness and low in neuroticism. Conscientious individuals are reliable, organized, and ambitious, which is evident in Thomas Shelby's behavior. He is determined to protect his family and rise above his humble beginnings. And on the other side, Luca Changretta can be classified as someone who is high in neuroticism, which is characterized by emotional instability, anxiety, and anger. He is consumed by anger and a desire for revenge, and his actions are driven by his emotional state. The theory of emotional intelligence can also be applied to this confrontation. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage one's own emotions and the emotions of others. Thomas Shelby demonstrates high emotional intelligence by being able to read and understand Luca Changretta's motivations and using them to his advantage. He is able to outsmart Luca Changretta by understanding his emotional triggers and exploiting them to his advantage. On the other hand, Luca Changretta demonstrates low emotional intelligence as he is unable to see past his own emotions and desires. He is driven by his anger and desire for revenge and is unable to recognize the emotions of others. Evidently, his own men already betrayed him towards the end of the season, and he didn't even see it coming. Finally, the concept of cognitive dissonance can be applied. According to cognitive dissonance theory, when individuals are presented with information that contradicts their beliefs or actions, they experience psychological discomfort or dissonance. Luca Changretta's actions and beliefs, specifically his desire for revenge, are in direct conflict with the reality of the situation, which is that his actions will ultimately lead to his downfall. He is unable to reconcile this dissonance, which leads to his undoing. While both men are incredibly complex and multidimensional, they also have very different psychological profiles. Thomas Shelby is driven by ambition and a desire to protect his family, while Luca Changretta is consumed by anger and a desire for revenge. This ultimately leads to their showdown in the series, where in the end, Thomas Shelby comes out on top by outsmarting Luca Changretta. One of the most interesting aspects of this showdown is the way in which it showcases the psychological differences between the two men. Thomas Shelby is able to outsmart Luca Changretta by understanding his motivations and using them against him. On the other hand, Luca Changretta is unable to see past his own anger and desire for revenge, ultimately leading to his downfall. Peaky Blinders is a show that is filled with well-written and intricate characters. Thomas Shelby and Luca Changretta are two of the most prominent characters in the series, and their showdown is a highlight of the show. By analyzing their motivations, behavior, and ultimate showdown, we can gain a deeper understanding of these two fascinating characters and the show as a whole. Thanks for watching.